Morning, how we doing? What? What's wrong? I don't understand. Movember, I know. What can I say? It looks a little bit silly. In fact, it looks like I've just come from the future. Like 15, 20 years. In the future I've come back to do a YouTube video. It makes me look a little bit older, I know that. But it's for a good cause, and I'm sure everybody knows what Movember is. But it does make me laugh because I've seen a lot of people like on TV and even in person, and they'll have like a beard, and you'll go up to them and you'll be like, oh, growing a beard. And they'll be like, yeah, Movember. Well, that's not a moustache, is it? Mustache, Movember. It's not beer Movember or beer-vember, is it? You've got to grow a moustache. So if you're growing a beard for Movember, cut it out, right? Stop it. It's moustaches only. And you too could look as cool as me. Now, I did this last year, and you might have seen the video, and I think I looked even stupider then for some reason. I don't know why. But it's all for a good cause, prostate problems and all the rest of it. And I guess the more awareness that is raised, then the more money is raised, and that can combat the disease, which obviously affects a lot of people. So who knows, one day we could get to the stage, and I'm sure we will, where the disease is completely eradicated just through awareness and money and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's funny to look at. It looks a bit daft. I do feel a little bit conscious about it, especially when I go outside. I just kind of want to walk down, like looking at the floor. I just feel a complete tit. I really do. But it's for a good cause. It's not a fashion statement. This isn't 1986. But it's funny because I was having this conversation the other day with someone, and a moustache to me is kind of cool. Bear with me on this, I'll try and explain. What I mean by that is, because of my age, 21 maybe, a little bit older, I just think I kind of grew up with moustaches to a degree. Like, I didn't have one myself when I was a kid, and my friends didn't at school, obviously. But, it was kind of fashionable in the 80s, of course. And I'd say even up until the early 90s, certainly 1990, 91, yeah, 92. I reckon 92 was when it was starting to, phase out a little bit, I guess. But by 1992, I was in my teens, albeit early teens. So like I said, I've kind of grown up with it, and it's always been something which, I don't know, because I've always been around it, I've always quite liked it. Now, I know it looks a little bit silly, especially in this day and age, it's kind of laughed upon, but it's for a good cause, as you know. But I think one day, I really do, the wife hates it, but I like the idea of like having a moustache when I'm like 48, bit of a random age, maybe 50 then, round it off. I just think it looks a bit silly now, but when I'm a little bit older, I've always liked the idea of doing it. I don't know why, other than thinking that it kind of reminds me of, being like a kid and, early teens, all that kind of stuff. But I may not do it. We'll see. But if I'm still making YouTube videos, imagine that, in like 20 years' time, then this may be a familiar sight. So get used to it, and it may influence you to grow on one as well. But anyway, so Movember. If you want to take part, then do it. Now, I should say the official kind of rules, officially, is that you're meant to be clean-shaven on the 1st of November, and then you don't shave throughout the duration of November or Movember. And you kind of see what you've sprouted, on the top lip there, or above the top lip. And that's kind of the plan. Now, I hadn't had a shave for about 3 or 4 weeks leading up to today, so that's why it's kind of grown quite quickly. And there's no guarantee that I'm going to keep this throughout the duration of November, or Movember, as I keep saying. Simply because, I know it's defeating the point of it, but I did it last year. That's kind of my get-out clause. And my second get-out clause is the fact that it's coming up to Thanksgiving, and I'm just not certain that I really want to be on photographs. I probably was last year, I guess, but I'm thinking we may meet new people. I've been here a few years now, but, it's a big family kind of get-together, might meet new people, and I don't want them turning up, at my house, and them thinking, going away the next day or whenever, under the impression I'm stuck in like a time warp. And I don't want to have to go up to everyone going, oh, it's Movember, that's why. So I may shave it off within the next kind of few days or something. But I might not, we'll see. But that's my little get-out clause. So that's that. That's what I wanted to talk about, the whole Movember thing. And if you want to do it, then do it. You don't have to get sponsored. It's all about raising awareness. And it's a bit of laugh, it's a bit of fun, I should say. It's a laugh and it's a bit of fun, so give it a try. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, very briefly, is I've got no pickups to show, and there aren't really any on the horizon, but it does make me laugh because what I've been doing the last kind of, I don't know, last 3 or 4 days in particular, I've been going on specifically to Amazon.com, and I've been adding games in my basket, all current gen stuff, PS3 and 360, but then I've kind of got to the checkout, and the totals come up, and it's been like $80 or $100, and I've kind of thought, oh, that's a lot of money, I don't think I want to do that. And I've kind of backed out at the last second. And then like an hour later, you know, I've still been sat at the computer and I've thought, actually, I do want to play them. So I've gone back onto Amazon, put them back into my basket, and then thought the same. Oh, it's too expensive. And I've done this now for 3 or 4 days. So if you see a pickups video in the next week or week and a half, then you know from the subscription video or the video that's going to come through on your subscription feed, you know that I have succumbed and bought some current gen games, but that's that. But yeah, I keep kind of changing my mind, and I don't know if it's because they're just expensive, and maybe deep down I can wait for a price drop, or whether I feel as if I've kind of got to buy some just because, you know, I've not made a pickup vid for a while. Do you know what I mean? That kind of it's almost the feeling of you doing it under duress. It's kind of weird, really. But I kind of want them as well. I guess I can wait, and it's just greed. But I've also got a really, what could potentially be a very exciting, but a really stupid idea when it comes to a collection that I've got in mind. And it's revolving around the PlayStation 1. Now, it's obviously not a full set. I want to clear that, just in case anyone's thinking, forget it. But it's a particular plan that I've got in mind, which may come off, it may not. I will talk about it. I guess maybe my New Year's resolution vid, which I've done for the past 2 or 3 years, I'll touch upon that then in, late December? Give or take. So that is that. Now, I think the last thing or 2 things I want to mention. First of all, I'm recovering from bronchitis. What a nightmare that is. Honestly. Oh, by the way, it's self-diagnosed. I didn't go to a doctor. I just think it's been bronchitis. And it's a lot better now. But it was the point. I don't know if anyone's had it before. But you kind of get to, like, the end of one sentence and you're coughing. It's like kind of gasping for air. It's just ridiculous. And it's all the way through the night. It's not as bad now, clearly. I think I've only done a couple of coughs. But if you'd have seen me like this time last week or the week before, unbelievable. It was a nightmare. So I've just been drinking, little tip for everyone, lots of green tea. Don't put milk in your tea. Don't put milk in because all the dairy products, nightmare. Green tea, soup, water, and if you've got like a bowl of water, hot water, to kind of like inhale as well. Steam, I guess. That's a good thing to do. Like I say, a bit of a tip. So that's been a nightmare. So that's another reason I haven't really made any videos lately. But last up but not least, what I want to talk about now is YouTube FC. Speaking of bronchitis. Yeah, YouTube FC. Now, I'm going to do it again. I can hear everyone out there going, oh, yes, amazing. Maybe not, I don't know. But there's going to be a few changes. But I'm not quite sure what to do on this, so maybe your input may help, may not, I don't know. But what I did last time, and for anyone who's not aware, which I guess isn't very many people, but maybe it might be, I don't know. But what I did going back, when was it, 2, 3, 4 months? I can't even remember now. I did a YouTube FC season on a football game, Championship Manager 97-98 game, the best one ever, of course. And I contacted a lot of YouTubers who, I guess, who I'm subscribed to, or they're subscribed to me, and who in the past maybe had left quite a lot of comments. People who I could kind of relate to. I wasn't going to put random people I didn't know who they were. And that's what we did. I took their information, their date of birth, what position they wanted to play, and we put ourselves into the game, into the editor, and we did a season in the 4th division of English football. Started off, near the bottom, and it went quite well. I won't reveal any spoilers, just in case for some reason you want to watch it for the first time, but they're all on there. Now, I'm going to do it again, but I'm not going to do it with the same people as such, not with the exact same squad. And also I'm thinking, let's do it in a different country. Let's start off in the Spanish 2nd division, or maybe the German 2nd division, or the Italian 2nd division. And the reason why I say 2nd division is I don't want to go in there starting from, in the top league. It's cheating, isn't it, really? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it up to you guys to determine whether you want to get involved. So if you're watching this now and you were involved in the previous YouTube FC season and you want to be in this one, let me know. If you were involved in the previous one and you don't want to be involved, then you don't have to do anything because I won't include you. all right? So basically, if you want to be involved in this one, you've got to let me know. And if you don't, you won't be in it. And I think that's the fairest thing to do, because there are a number of people who were in the previous squad who haven't really used YouTube for quite some time, and maybe they're having a break, maybe they might even have deleted the channel, I don't know, I doubt it. But if they have, there's no point in them being involved. It's kind of a bit silly. And also, similarly, if you're watching this and you weren't involved in the original one, but you want to be involved in this, maybe I didn't contact you, it was a bit rude of me, or maybe you weren't subscribed to me back then, maybe you're subscribed now, and I kind of know who you are, maybe we've watched each other's vids and got a bit of banter going or whatever, then again, let me know. So if you want to be involved, it's up to you to let me know. So please, honestly, I know it sounds a bit harsh, but I think it is the fairest thing to do. And then that way, if you're not involved, then you know, that was your decision. If you want to be involved, let me know. Like, PM me and just say you're interested and we'll take it from there. So yeah, we may start off in like the second division of, say, the Spanish league. Now, if 90% of people reply back and they're like, no, we want to play in the, I don't know, the Dutch division, then we'll do that. But I'm thinking the Spanish one is quite a nice one. And we can change like the colour of the kit and all that kind of stuff. Last time it was like blue. Can't remember the away kit. I think it was like silver and yellow or something. We can probably change that as well. Another cough. Yeah, and the only other change I think I'm going to implement is, last time what I did is for 16 days in succession, I released a video. I'm not going to do that. I think I quickly realised after 4 or 5 days that it was quite hard to maintain, but I did it in the end. But it was a bit of a hindrance. And I think maybe in many ways it detracted from the whole point. I know some people would have loved it because you're having it every day, and you know you're keeping up with what's going on. But I think for a lot of people it was too much too soon, too quickly, you know. So what I'm going to do, I think, is maybe do one video a week, but maybe make it an hour long. Now, it's a long video, but that way we can cram more in, but it'll be less frequent an upload, you know, once a week or once every kind of 10 days. And that way it may kind of keep people more interested, I guess. Obviously, specifically the people who are involved. Now, the only other disclaimer I will say, and I said this last time, is if you do want to get involved in this, then please let me know. I can't stress that enough. But there's no guarantees that you'll play, because if there's loads of people involved, then it's going to be hard to keep everybody happy. But what can I say? And what I like to do, and I said this last time, I like to keep the spine of a team. So I like to play, you know, 7 or 8 of the same players every week, because that way you're going to get consistent results. If you're chopping and changing the team, you're going to lose and you're going to do badly. So that's what I'm going to do. So please don't be offended if you don't play. But once again, I've really got to stress this. The video's been going on a while now, I just can see the timer there. If you want to get involved in YTFC, let me know, all right? So then everyone's happy. And all I'm going to say now is, Movember, do it. Why not? See you later. What was that? See you later. That was ridiculous. See you next time.